stupidly epic. Hello everybody, welcome back to You Got 5 Minutes. Today's game is the Prologue version of Raiders of the Broken Planet on PlayStation 4. It's from Mercury Steam, the same guys that done the good old Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1 and 2. They've went and made their own sort of online kind of shootery kind of game where you've got your cool team of like allies and you've got to jump in and fight the bad guys and yeah, so it's an online shooter. It needs some improvement. It needs a wee bit of improvement, guys. I played about 40 minutes of it. I played the first sort of mission thing, then went to this sort of onto the next mission. This is like the wee prelude sort of training mode thing, and it shows you how to like control the characters and that. But then when you get into the meat and potatoes of it, you get teamed up with other people, and when you get teamed up with other people, right, here's my first gripe. It just seems like a bunch of horde modes put together. Like you're going through, you're trying to complete objectives, you're pressing buttons and pulling levers and that. And then when you do that, you've just got to fight off waves upon waves of enemies, while the thing slowly does what it's needing to do. And what's say infuriating about it? It's not infuriating. That's a bad word to use. What kind of annoys me about it is that the shooting itself, at least from the character that I was playing, the big baldy Russian dude, I can't remember what his blooming name is now, but like he's this like badass guy with like a minigun, but it didn't seem satisfying to shoot the gun. It felt like, it didn't feel like you were holding this big heavy machine gun. It just felt like you were, it was like just blowing air, you know. It didn't feel like a satisfying gun to shoot. You'd see all the numbers flying off the enemies and that, but it didn't feel like it had any weight to it. It didn't feel like it had a like impact. It didn't feel like the enemies were getting totally annihilated by this thing. So you combine the fact where like it just seems kind of like a glorified horde mode, with the fact that, at least for me when I was playing the game, I played it, like I said, about 40 minutes of it playing this guy, because I was online with other people. And yeah, you can see this guy here is like, it's just, I don't know, like it just that was the two main things that got to me when I was playing it, because I was playing it for so long, it felt like it was never going to end, and then we finally got defeated at the, you know, we got like maybe about halfway through the next section of the level. You'll see where it ends, but we got to this point where we had to like sort of shot out these reactor things, and there was like 3 or 4 of them in the map. And if any one of the enemies goes back and like re-thingways the reactor, then it's paused until one of your team members can get back there and start like shorting the thing back out again, or like overloading it or whatever, you know. So we were doing that. We got about halfway through that, and then we all just died, and then it just went back to the screens like, oh, let's see how you did then, blah 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 blah. Oh, you get some points, and like I got 241 points or something like that. I don't know, but like, I don't know. It just seems like like, look at the footage. It doesn't feel like there's any vibration to that gun. It doesn't feel like there's any weight to it. It doesn't feel like there's any like see when you're playing like, and I hate so much to compare it to Destiny, but that's the shooter that I've been playing recently. Is like, when you're shooting a gun in Destiny, it feels like the guns have recoil, it feels like they have weight, it feels like they have, like whenever you headshot somebody, it feels satisfying, you know? This is just like you're hitting them with air from this Nerf gun or something like that. It doesn't matter how many numbers pop up, it doesn't feel satisfying. I mean, on the positive side, the game sounds and looks really nice. Like, I like the art style, I like the presentation in that. I like how it's like it goes all weird and digitally when you're about to die. You can tell when you're going to die in this game. it's not just a little faint red aura. It actually shows you visually that, yeah, you're just about to die, mate. So you better bolt and hide behind like a crate or something like that and get your health back. There's a very sort of limited melee combat in the game as well. Like, in order for you to sort of get your ammo back, you've got to get it off the enemies. So if you don't have any ammo left, you can sort of brawl with them. It's squares like you're punching, triangles you're grappling. So you like kind of combo them into a grapple, and then like you kill them and get your ammo back, you know. So that feels pretty cool, you know. Like it feels like there's more weight behind the brawling than it does with the guns, you know. And I mean, I seen an interview with him, and this is actually what prompted me to download it, because like it looked decent from the thing that they were showing. Like I seen a wee interview with one of the developers at Mercury Steam, and they were like, yeah, we want to hear feedback from people, because we're going to be sort of retroactively fixing things that didn't feel good about like the first parts and everything, because this game is like you can buy it all at once sort of thing, or you can buy it an episode at a time, or you can buy it like buy each episode completely separately. Like you can buy episode 1, not buy episode 2, and then buy episode 3 and still be able to play it, you know. So they're actively wanting feedback, obviously productive feedback. I'm not just trying to crap on the game for the sake of crapping on the game. But it did at least feel from the prologue what I was playing. It did like this part here. Like this was us running around this arena for like about 10 minutes before like we ended up just dying, purely because when we tried to overload these reactor things, they would always like you would have to try and kill all the enemies, and then the enemies themselves would power. Like they would power up and rush you and then just kill you straight away. Like they have like some sort of like armor thing going on. At least some of them do. But like that wasn't the problem. I think the problem was for me mainly is 1, too much horde mode, too much sort of fending off waves of enemies essentially, and 2, if you can try and make the shooting feel better, like make it, you know, make the game pop, make it feel great when you're, you know, like that felt like it had weight to it. I just got beat down there by an enemy, and that felt like it had oomph, you know. But when you're shooting the guns, at least for the character that I was playing, I didn't play anybody else because, like I said, 40 minutes of this guy was enough for me. It just didn't feel like it had any weight or oomph behind it when you were shooting the gun. There was secondary powers as well. I didn't even realise that until near the end, but like my guy could like pop up like a sort of bubble shield, kind of like how the Titan can in Destiny. And again, another unfair comparison, but still. But yeah, guys, that's about it. Like, I see potential for the game, and I'm looking forward to see how they sort of get on with it. But yeah, I think that's my thoughts on it just now. Like, the sort of tentative thoughts. I might revisit the game later on. Maybe if they sort of fix things later on, I'll revisit it. But yeah, it looked nice, and it just didn't feel fun. But thanks, guys. Bye.